Hi, you're listening to the Fresh Start Podcast, and this is episode number 33. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Fresh Start Podcast. This is Marcia.
This is Stacey.
Hey, Stacey.
Hello.
You know, I have a trainer that comes to my house once a week, and her name is Annie. Annie's been on our show.
Yeah.
Y'all should check out Annie's. I'll put a link to her episode. She's amazing. She's got me doing a plank.
Whoa, that's big.
A 1 minute plank. I can do a plank for 1 minute. I know some of you out there are going,
Man.
1 minute. I'm telling you.
That's a lot.
It's a big deal. Yeah. And so she said, we're going to talk through your plank. Like, just talk, just so you're not like thinking about what you're doing. Let's just talk. And so she was like, go. So I get in my plank and she goes, okay, let's talk about something good in the world. What's good that's going on? And there was just silence. I'm like, this isn't helping.
Because we automatically, I think of the threats. And
I know. It's like, something good. All I'm thinking about is how much this plank hurts right now. But come on. Tell me something good. Tell me something good in your world, Stacey Wynn.
I just got home from Orlando. I went to the Tori Amos concert. And this is, I think, the fourth time I've seen her in my life.
Oh, you're a fan.
I even shook her hand one time. I waited for her, like some of the fans knew that she would come out of the stage entrance kind of place, and then and kind of do a little informal meet and greet.
Fun.
So I went, I camped out, and sure enough, she came out and I shook her hand. But I've been a loyal listener for decades now, and so I drove in, and it was funny because Maggie and I do concerts together, but she just happened to get this offer to go to another concert in Jacksonville, Tame Impala. And so I had this extra ticket, and one of the women that I've met online through the Deconstruction Zone met me because she lives there. So that was awesome.
I did see that picture of you guys on Facebook. I just assumed Maggie went with you and you just like randomly saw her there, but that's awesome.
Yeah. So I did that, and I stayed at the Grand Bohemian, which is a great hotel. And I had a totally dogless, catless evening. So, I mean, I went to sleep. I put those little footy moisturizer things on and just had a glass of wine in my room and just knew that I was going to sleep and not get interrupted and wake up just on my own. It was fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That we all need those days, if it means having to check into a hotel to do it. That's fantastic.
What about you? What's your good thing?
You know, I think my good thing is we just started a book club this past Wednesday, and it was so fantastic. And we're reading Kate Bowler's Joyful Anyway. And, you know, I love Kate Bowler. I think she's amazing, and I love her writing. And several of us went to see her live when she was here in Nashville on her book tour. And so we all got her book and started reading it. And it was just such great conversation and community. I mean, it's amazing when you get a group of people. A lot of us, some of us knew each other because we'd been in book clubs together, but there was a lot of people that had never met. There was one brave man that showed up to the book.
Nice.
I know. I was so proud of him. And he was like the first one to jump in and like be vulnerable and talk about what he was going through. And we were like, all right, you know, and he just sort of like, when he did that, it just sort of like gave everyone permission to just be vulnerable and talk about their feelings and what they're dealing with. And I just left there with a full heart. I know that's an overused cliche, but I'm like, at least once a week, I know that I have this little community for the next 6 weeks to go in and have these, you know, hopeful conversations with about trying to find joy in the midst of all the humanity that we have to deal with.
Yeah, that's how I think of Deconstruction Zone too. It's something I can look forward to. every
Yeah,
week.
I know. I need to get there more often. The last two Sundays, I thought, oh, I think I can do it. And then I don't know, something came up at the last minute.
Yeah, time zones are always iffy.
Yeah, I know. But I'm
And
so glad you have that group. Online community is real community. And you actually got to see your friend's
Pam,
legs.
yeah.
You got
Yeah, I did get
what
to see her
Amanda,
legs. It's now a joke. Someone else said that.
Amanda, I saw that was her
Yes,
comment.
Amanda said that because I say that. Oh, I got to see her legs.
Yeah.
Yes.
None of us see anybody from from the boobs down. Oh, that's so
Yeah, it was
funny.
fun. It was fun. She said, "You're taller than I thought." And I'm like, "Your hair's lighter than I thought."
That's pretty funny. Well, some of you may be thinking this is the Enneagram episode because last week we said the next episode was going to be the Enneagram episode, but we're a little delayed in
We
getting that.
lied.
What'd you say?
We lied.
We did not lie. We overestimated ourselves.
Yes.
But it is coming. So for you guys that want to hear about the Enneagram, don't give up. It's coming. And that's going to be a great episode. But I was telling Stacey the other day that I was listening to the We Can Do Hard Things podcast with Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach and her sister Amanda. Sorry, Amanda, I don't know your last name. I should know that. But anyway, they were talking. It was actually a repeat of a popular episode about how to handle criticism. And it was really inspiring to me because as someone, I mean, I've been an artist my whole life, singer songwriter. So, putting out art out into the world is scary because you know that you're probably going to get people that don't like it. And especially now that we have the internet and you're trying to put your work out and market yourself best you can,
Mhm.
it's hard to protect yourself from really harsh and unfair criticism sometimes. And I've talked to a lot of people, especially women, I think, that really struggle with wanting to put their work out in the world, whether it's art, whether it's a blog, whether it's a song, whether it's, your thoughts in a business meeting,
Mhm.
because you're afraid someone's going to be critical of what you have to
Right.
offer. And I thought we might talk about that a little today because I just really want to encourage people to not let that fear of criticism stop them from putting what they have to offer out into the world, because it is going to come, whether you're famous or not famous. It's something we all have to learn how to sort through.
Yeah. And I liked what Abby said at one point, um, because this is very personality driven, how we take feedback and give feedback.
Oh,
And so she said that it really doesn't bother her. She just evaluates the person who's giving the feedback and says, are you worthy to say these things to me? Like, are you credible?
mm-hmm.
And I resonate with that. So when I think about this topic, I recognize that, there are some personalities that will just listen and just go, whatever, you do you.
Really? So you think that's just an inherent part of some people's personality? It's not like a
Sure.
skill? Because, like Abby was talking about it. For those of you that don't know Abby, she was a professional soccer player. She played on like the USA women's soccer, Olympic, all that, all the sports. I really know the lingo, don't I? But she said she was so used to really mean comments about
Mhm.
her and her playing. She should have done this, she should have done that, she sucks, she's, even really personal
Mhm.
attacks. um and I thought, well, maybe she just from an early age being in sports and having all the armchair quarterbacks telling her what she's doing wrong, maybe she just developed this thick skin. But you're saying, and maybe as Enneagram expert, are there certain like numbers that just inherently handle that better?
I think that the it's not necessarily a number thing, but I would say it's more of an interaction style
Mm,
thing, the way that we have confidence in the moment to make a choice in a given situation. So in terms of receiving feedback, like we have a choice to make in that moment. Do we feel like it's warranted? Is it necessary? Is it reasonable? Is it not? And the three styles, one of the styles is more independent, meaning I'm going to make my decision no matter what you think. So if I'm good, I'm good. You can think what you want. And then other styles are you know really care a lot about what other people say and gain confidence by receiving input from other people. And if you're receiving input, I think maybe that's where some of the wires can get crossed. Like I'm receiving input and I want it. So I usually take that in and evaluate it. And in this instance, it just doesn't help, right?
right.
And then with the assertive or the independent style, there's a problem too, where if you really need to take the feedback and you just shrug it off and say, I don't I don't care what you think, then it could be in some, critical feedback, but it could be developmental,
Mm,
a need
yeah.
that you're kind of blind to in that moment. So I do think personality plays a key role, as does emotional intelligence. Because if you aren't self-aware, you're not going to take feedback no matter what.
Yeah.
And so there's that. But I loved what Glennon's sorting method was, and it's very visual, which was cool. Like you're putting your good work out into the world. It's like taking something out to your mailbox and sticking it in there and raising the little flag. Like, here's my good work that I'm bringing into the world. And
Mhm.
then you know that after the post office comes and processes it and you start to get the mail back and you go and start getting the mail out of the mailbox, there's going to be a lot of junk mail.
Yeah.
And I liked her little example, because when I go to the mailbox, I have it all sorted by the time I get to my front door, because I just want to take that junk mail and immediately put it in the recycle bin. Like,
Yeah. Don't even bring it in the house.
don't
Right.
even do it.
Right. And that's what she says. She's like, before we bring this mail into our home, this feedback or feed out, they call because it's people just like blah, they're just like not even thinking. But they're before they're going to bring it into their home, they're going to sort it. And she was talking about the different ways to sort it. Like, first of all, if someone is attacking your looks or, look like a personal attack in your feedback that has nothing to do with your work, junk. It
Mm-hmm.
is not, you're not even bringing it in your house. You're not even going to. Now, I don't know how you avoid not reading this and absorbing some of it, because in order to figure out what the junk is, you have to look at it, go, oh, that's mean. I'm not going to take that into the house. But you're still having to read it to sort it. But, when people resort to those type of critical attack, those are attacks. That's not criticism. That's not feedback. I like the word feedback better than criticism, even because
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone that cares about you, that cares about your work, that genuinely wants you to be better at what you do because they believe in you, it's beyond criticism. It's just feedback. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, can I give you some feedback on this? And um, I think there is a very small circle of people, as I've gotten older, especially, that I will really allow that kind of feedback into my house.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I had, with the Common Ground group, the other two directors in the nonprofit set up a call with me one time. I had no idea what we were talking about. And they said they had something they wanted to talk to me about. And they said, and I could tell that they were just really kind of uncomfortable. And they said, sometimes it feels like you don't listen to us and you get an idea in your head and you run with it without getting our feedback or hearing our ideas, and it hurts our feelings.
Okay.
And we don't think you mean to do that, but it has happened a couple times. And I was like devastated because I didn't intend for that, but I could see that was something I had done unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I really valued, I don't even think I said it in the moment because I was just so taken off guard. I think I had to go back to them afterwards and say, all right, I need to apologize. Like, I'll do better about this. I
Yeah.
promise. Um, and those kinds of, you know, when you do have people that are important to you and they care enough to say, hey, you've got this way of doing things that we'd love to see change a little
Yeah.
bit. And here's why. Here's the impact of it, and here's how it makes us feel, or here's the impact of what it does. And then it's up to, it's up to us to evaluate that and say, is this, in her example, is this male that's important? Is it male that I'm bringing in that I'm going to use for my own development? Am I going to read this?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Well, Glennon talks about Brene Brown saying clear is kind. And like, so and your feedback does need to be, if you want someone to take it seriously, if you want someone to take your criticism or your feedback seriously, you have to find a way to be kind with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, she said, I don't need sweet. It doesn't have to be sweet, but clear is kind. When someone is clear to me, and it sounds like these women were
Yeah.
with you, they were like, they weren't being mean, they weren't attacking you personally, they were just speaking in a clear and kind way to let you know how they thought you could all work together better.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And although that's hurtful to our egos sometimes in the moment,
Sure. Yeah.
or humbling, it's like, oh, I did something
Yeah.
wrong. No one likes to feel like, oh, I did something wrong, but we all
Yeah.
do something wrong. We all do it, right?
Yeah. And I think and as I think about that moment, I think why I felt, or in the area that I felt the worst, it was that, I wondered, how long has this gone on
Oh,
when it could have been better, right? There was that part of it, like, wow, I've really not, they noticed it and then it probably went on. And I felt really bad about that time, you know.
mm, mm.
Um,
So yeah, it would
yeah,
have been kinder to just go ahead and like nip it in the bud, right? Instead of like lingering with it, so that now you're going, golly, if they've been thinking this for a while and didn't want to tell me. And
right, right. And part of that's personality too. And I'm cognizant of the fact that as an eight, I bring a certain amount of energy to the room, and in that particular space, I that was I had an overwhelming personality. Like most of the other women were more in the feeling center.
mm-hmm.
And I get that, in hindsight, I recognize that.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's an important topic, and it's one that comes up a lot at work too. So as I do
Really?
leadership consulting, we talk a lot about communication and feedback because it's one of, not the biggest request, but one of the biggest requests is we need to teach people how to give and receive feedback.
Mm.
And there are many reasons why we don't do it in the workplace. One of the reasons is people just think they're too busy, and slowing down is hard. You got to slow down and have a conversation. It's a little bit uncomfortable. You don't know what to expect. So
Mm.
all of those things make it feel like something I'll do that later. It's something I'll put off.
Yeah, no one likes confrontation, right? Like most people don't.
Yes.
Maybe there are a few people out there that just love confrontation, but
But
most people don't like to have
yeah,
those hard conversations. And so then they're resistant to give somebody feedback because they don't want to enter into this hard conversation.
yes.
But you're
There's
not
a
do you're not doing anybody any favors by holding on to that information and not giving them some feedback that would help them grow, right?
Yeah. And there's a great TED talk, and we'll link it in the show notes by
Okay.
a cognitive psychologist, Leanne Reniger.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a 4-part model for feedback, and it's talks about the brain science, the what we need to understand about the brain as part of this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And her 4 steps are interesting because the first one is just asking a yes or no question. Do you have 5 minutes to talk about that meeting?
Ah,
Do you have a few minutes to talk about that conversation we just had? And
interesting.
so, if I said that to you, you could say, actually, no, I don't have 5 minutes. So it gives you a moment to say yes or no to the question, and prepares that's the preparation for the brain to know that, hey, feedback is going to come.
Mm.
And then it's really, what's the data point? So what happened? What's the impact statement? How did it impact the situation? And then it ends on a question like, I just gave you my perspective. Now tell me yours. I'd like to hear more from you.
Mm.
So
So it becomes
that
a
it's quick.
conversation, becomes
Yeah.
like, let's go back and forth. Let's not me attack. It's not me attacking you. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what Glennon said, a lot of the junk mail that she gets is just attacks. It's
Yeah. It's
attacks
all,
about her looks. It's an attack about her gender. A woman shouldn't be, doing this kind of work, or her relationships. Like, wow, she's a lot,
yeah,
I bet she's hard to be in relationship
married to,
with,
or yeah.
married to, or man, I bet her kids can't stand her, or that kind of stuff. It when personal attacks, and I guess that's mainly probably stuff that you see, on the internet. It's like keyboard warriors that feel really good
Mm-hmm.
about themselves. But I saw this quote in a book the other day. It said, criticism of others is just a cowardly form of self praise I use to momentarily inflate my own ego. And I thought, wow, it's a cowardly form of self praise. So if we are attacking somebody else, if we get on the internet and we're like, well, I think that you're stupid or whatever. That's a stupid way to look at something, which I would never, I would never say that online or in person, but most of the people that say it online probably wouldn't say that in person. Um, but yeah, that's just a way to say it's a cowardly form of self
Yeah.
praise. Like, I'm smarter than you are.
Or, I think and they said something too, which was interesting about how it's not creative at all. So there's that. But I think it's also um, just some kind of fear-based scarcity mindset kind of thing. Like, I'm just going to attack you because you're doing something that
Mhm.
makes you better than me in my
Yeah.
own mind, right?
Yeah.
So you think you're better than I am.
Yeah.
And possibly, maybe they are better than you, buddy. But yeah, it's kind of that, when you get feedback like that, and it's so ugly, it tells you a lot about the character of the person, because there are so many ways we can give feedback to people that is wrapped up in a very professional and positive and just clear and kind way. It may
Yeah.
be hard news, but it's not ugly.
Yeah. 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 I was listening to them. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not famous. Because I remember
What do
my,
you mean? You are famous.
no, I'm not. My,
Yes, you are.
my ex boss, Christopher. I remember one time we went and did a show somewhere, and the next day there was like this glowing review in the paper. And we read it. And we were like, Christopher, you should listen to this review. It's amazing. And he goes, yeah, no, I don't want to read it. And we're like, why not? And he goes, because if I read the good reviews, I have to read the bad reviews. And when I read reviews, it it makes me rethink my art, instead of just putting out what my soul wants to put out. I've got those things in my head well, they liked it, they liked this, so I need to do more of this, or they
That's
hated
true.
this,
Yeah.
so I need to do less of this. And so then your art gets compromised, your work gets compromised. What you are inherently just putting out in the world is affected by others. And he said, I don't want my art affected that way. And
Mhm.
I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, that's huge.
I saw another quote that said, if you depend on other people approving or supporting everything you say or do, you will end up doing and saying nothing, and you will be handcuffed to mediocrity. I was like,
Wow.
whoa. Um, and I think that's what he was trying to say. I don't want to be handcuffed to mediocrity. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to be trying to like pacify both sides. And that's the other thing with criticism. You know, I remember when I was in church and we would have like meetings on the worship team, and the worship leaders, you know, head would be exploding because he would have people come up to him after every service and say, we hate that song. Why do you keep doing that song? And then somebody else, oh, I love that song. I wish you would do it more. Or the music's too loud. Another person, I wish you'd turn up the music. You know,
The
it's
drums
like
are too loud.
drums. Yeah. Hey, why are the drums? Yeah. But it's, you're going to get both. You know, I wish you'd do more hymns. I wish you wouldn't do hymns. You cannot please
No.
everybody. And so you have to do what your gut tells you is your work to do, right?
Yeah.
And not try to overthink and just please an audience, because then you'll just be chasing something down the road all the time and never feel like you get there.
Yeah. And what they didn't talk about, but it just came to mind as you were speaking, is this does help us, I think, formulate for ourselves when the right time is to give feedback. Like we have to go through this process too. Is
Yes.
this something that's just bugging me? Is this relevant to, the world? Is this, even worth it? Is this am I
Mm-hmm.
doing this for the right reasons? Are my intentions good? Is my
Right.
motivation good?
Right. And I mean, I'll have people, you know, I have people send me songs or videos all the time and say, hey, I just, just wrote this, or what do you think? Now I teach songwriting classes on songu.com. And, that's my job. I go into a class and people bring in songs and they are there to get my feedback. They want me to tell them what I think is good about the song or what could be improved about the song. So, unfortunately, anytime somebody sends me a song or something, that's my brain just goes there. I go, oh, I'd love to say they should change this and I think it'll be stronger, or this should do. Of course, that's just my subjective opinion, So then I have to back up and go, all right, did they ask me for my opinion, or did they just send that because they want me to enjoy it? Because if
Right.
that's what they want, then I don't need to bully my opinion over
Yeah.
and give them feedback if
It's
they're
so
not.
hard too, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like, I think I could help you make this better, but wait, I have to go back. Did they ask me for feedback? Did they ask me for my opinion, or did they just say, "Hey, I want you to hear this. I'm really proud of it."
Well, too, sometimes you're asked for your feedback and you you really shouldn't give it.
Well, that's true.
Like that happens often in the deconstruction space where someone will ask me what I think about something. And that always gives me pause. Sometimes I jump right in because it feels like I can share and whatever. Sometimes I'm like, well, what do you think? You tell me first. Where do you land on this? Like I don't know. It's
Lana.
was Lana going crazy back there? Hey,
She
Lana.
just she just stuck her butt up into the into the
Oh,
air
she
right
does
with
this weird stretch. Yes, that's the
it was
dog.
cute. It's like, show all your private parts there, Lana.
You'll have to look at YouTube to see that magic.
Yeah. Sorry, squirrel. Back to what you were saying.
Yeah, but just the sometimes we're asked for feedback and maybe
Yeah.
it's an opportunity to not give feedback and to turn that question back around. Well, what do you think? Tell me your
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah. Because sometimes people say, what do you think? and they don't really want to know what you think. They want you to agree with them.
Or they want to agree with you.
Oh,
They want you to do the work
oh,
in some ways. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
I'll be more comfortable knowing your take
What
on it.
you think first.
Yeah. I think a
Mm,
little bit of that happens.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to know,
Yeah.
even with, with my adult kids, it's like I might see them doing something that I wish they would make a different choice, but allowing them to have autonomy and their own choices, and their mom not constantly saying, I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
um, you know.
And back to the Leanne Renninger video, the other thing she says, which I think is really powerful, is, in this world where people feel like they can give you feedback all the time, there's that. Um, but there's also lots of opportunity for us to proactively ask for feedback. So people that we trust,
Mm-hmm.
that we know are going to be honest and clear with us,
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that we need to ask for feedback, and not wait, like proactively pull that feedback in,
Yeah.
and to get used to that. Because the more we get used to that conversation of asking and then navigating the feedback,
Mm-hmm.
it just gets easier and easier.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think I think maybe too, and I think you alluded to this a minute ago. We have to sort of do work in ourselves in order to be able to accept any feedback and not take it personal, right? We have to be able to um, be strong enough and confident enough in ourselves and what we think we have to offer and our value so that we don't crumble under any sort of even kind criticism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call it, I should trademark it, but I call it all the time wrapping words around it. Because most of this dialogue that is an internal dialogue about how it hurts our feelings, or gosh, we're taken aback by it, or we didn't expect it, or whatever we're thinking on the inside. And if we just communicate, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting to hear that today. It did catch me a little off guard. I really appreciate you saying it, and I'd like some time to think about it.
Mm. Ooh, I
You
like that.
know, like, just get the feelings that, wow, that was a little bit harsh, but I get your underlying message, but it came across a little bit more direct than I was ready
Ready
for.
for.
So, right. So you just kind of practice saying what's going on the inside, because it takes that inner dialogue, which can be really, really loud and overpowering, and kind of quells that, because you're actually saying it, helps the conversation to continue in a productive way.
Mm.
That takes practice.
That does take practice.
That took a lot of therapy.
That was
So if anyone wants my
thousands of
therapist
dollars.
number, let me know. Like, you have to say how you feel. You have to put it in words. Like, no, I'd rather ruminate on it.
Yeah, but I mean, even going back to like your example of those women saying, maybe you could
Not be
not
such an eight.
not be such an a. But I mean, I've seen people react to that type of clear and kind feedback by saying, "Ah, how could you think that of me?" Or, well, they immediately just get defensive, and they feel like it's a very personal attack. And if you give criticism or feedback, whatever you want to call it, in a clear and kind way, and you know that your heart is to try to help this person and help their work be better, that you think you have something to offer them that would make their life better or their work better or whatever, if they react that way, nothing you can do about that. I mean,
Yeah. That's, I think, the power of asking the initial question, do you have time for feedback?
yeah, maybe you're right. Or do
And
you say,
then,
do you want some feedback? Or do you just,
no,
you
do you
don't?
have 5 minutes to talk about
What that happened?
whatever?
Okay. Yeah.
And then, back to in that circumstance and what I try to do with things about my personality that I'm kind of blind to. So the energy I bring into conversations or I have um, just kind of an intensity that I don't understand or know at all.
Mm,
I don't, I'm not doing it on purpose and it
yeah.
doesn't, just
Hmm.
doesn't resonate with me at all. But when I get feedback about something like that, that I don't necessarily, I'm going to try to work on this,
Hmm.
but please, in the moment, I'm asking you to please, you know, give me a code word, stop me,
Yeah.
let me know, like
Hmm.
do the hand signal, whatever
Hmm.
in the moment where you catch me doing this. So I get used to stop, to doing a
Hmm.
workaround. Like I need to
Hmm.
fix this and I'd love to have your help. And I did ask them that.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna be better,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna be perfect. And I want you to tell me the next time this happens. Just stop me in the moment.
Just stop. Say, hey, you're not
Yeah.
delegating again. You're taking the ball and we'd love to be
Yeah.
a part of this.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. I am. Okay, what can you do? Yes, I know. I
Exactly.
know. I've struggled with that, with my board members out on God of My Girlfriends. I think it's a combination of I don't like to bother people, so I think that if I put
Right.
something on them that I'm like bothering them, and I'd rather just do it myself rather than feel like I'm imposing on something. I was like, no, they're on the board because they volunteered and want to help. And if I don't let them help, then they're wasting their time here. So I've had to learn that. I've had to learn that too. And growth, having someone point out a fault of yours, maybe fault's not the word, but point out a place where you could be better, a growth
Uh-huh.
place can sting. It can be painful.
Hmm.
Um, and like I said, without having some self awareness and having emotional, like you said, you having your emotional IQ being kind of in tune, that's when you get, how dare you say that to me? Don't you know me better than that? I'm trying my best. Well, you know what you do. Turn it around and it's
Yes.
like,
It's
oh,
your problem.
well,
You just need to do this, and then
y-
it's not an issue anymore.
yeah, or point out some other random fault.
Yeah.
It's like you get in a fight with your husband and they're like, you know, he's like, why do you do this? I go, well, why do you leave the dishes in the sink?
How come back in 1988 you did blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, we can't do that, people. We have to learn how to take. So what we have to do to put all this in a box here, we have to first, number one, not take all the criticism to heart. Learn how to sort certain criticisms out as junk mail and just leave them outside of the house. Don't even bring them into your circle and give them real thought. If it has to do with the fact that, you know, you're a woman and shouldn't be doing this work. She was talking about that. She was talking about how she gets attacked for her looks or her gender or her relationships or all this stuff, and how when she talks to like her male counterparts about how she has to sort out that junk mail, they're like shocked because they don't
Yeah.
have to. I mean, their criticism may be harsh and get harsh and mean, but it's always about their work. But for
Right.
some reason, women, what makes it even worse is when I see women doing it to women, like women.
That does feel
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
worse to
Yeah, it
me
it
too.
feels worse, but we can't
But it
let
happens.
we
It happens.
right. So we have to learn how to sort through our junk mail, our feedback, and know how much of it is really worth considering. And the main point is this about my work? Is this about something that can make me better? If what they have to say to you won't make you better,
Yeah. We have this mastermind that we do.
yes, we do.
And I think that, that's the kind of group that we can be in where we have mentors and, friends and who can help us evaluate, I got this feedback. I'm just not sure whether it's meant for my improvement or not. Like, can you guys help me think through
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
I think
And
that that's something we can do too.
oh yeah, having a community, a trusted community of friends or family or whatever that looks like for you to help you sort through your junk mail. That's helpful
Yeah.
too, because sometimes you just can't sort through it yourself. And then doing some self evaluation, allowing ourselves to be humble enough to hear the good feedback and evaluate ourselves and see how that can make us better and not take it, like an attack or personally. And then yeah, not let it keep us afraid of putting our work out in the world. I hear so many women say, I'd like to start a Substack and write my thoughts out, but I'm just afraid of what people will think. So
Do it
do it.
anyway.
Do it anyway. And don't let other people's thoughts and opinions dictate yours all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this. I think my husband gave this to me when I released my book because I was so nervous about my book coming
Mm-hmm.
out
Mm-hmm.
and what people would think of it and are they gonna, think it's terrible. And so I have this thing hanging on the wall. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's called, whoops, can you see that?
Yeah.
The Man in the Arena. And Brene Brown talks about, I think she quotes this in her book, Daring Greatly. But what it says is the man in the arena, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat. And it's like, yeah, y'all, we're going to fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to put out things that are going to bomb. I see so many people, putting out work. Of course, I'm in the music business. So a lot of times it's people putting out songs or putting out videos and they put all this effort and work into it. And then they put out, and it's worse than criticism. It's crickets,
Mm.
nothing, you know, and, and that's hard to deal with too. It's like, wow, no one has even noticed, no one cares. No one, but you don't know.
Mm-mm.
You put that work out in the world. I mean, I've had songs that I've recorded and put out, and it might be years later when someone says, that song got me through a really dark time. And they didn't write to tell me that at the time. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
but you just don't know. If you feel like you've got something you want to share with the world, just share it. Share it.
Yeah, share it. And what I find too is, and you can tell me how it worked for you, but I find that a lot of times I come into a project or something I want to write or do, and it feels like, I'm putting this out into the world to help other people, which in part it really is. But then what I found is it actually the process of it and the message of it is also something that's meant for me. Like
Yes.
there's it's weird because I don't think of it that way. Now I do because it's such a pattern that I just expect it.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I didn't. And that made a big difference to me to think, you know what, this thing that I'm kind of sweating blood about and trying to, complete and get out, and this kind of weight of wanting to help other people who are in similar circumstances. It's also that process is also part of my own development. So
Yeah.
having my intention kind of wrapped around all of that helps me to just be more confident in it and be okay with it myself, no matter what. Like I'm putting this out with pure intention. This is, wrapped in good intention. And no matter what happens, I'm really proud of it.
I love that because it's part of your journey too.
Yeah.
And it's being creative in whatever way that looks. For me, like even writing my Substack, I started writing it because for me, writing, it's almost like I'm writing like a journal, almost like I'm figuring out my own thoughts about a subject as I put this blog post together. And by the end of it, I'm clearer on what I feel about it. And if that process brought me some clarity, then maybe it will bring somebody else some clarity too. So might as well put it out there. Of course, yeah, there's some people that'll say they don't agree with me or don't. Luckily, I don't have too many mean people.
You used to. I think you've weeded a lot of those
I
people
think
out.
I have too. Yeah. Most of the mean comments will come in direct messages because they don't want to put them on like Facebook because they're like
I love when people do that. They take those messages that they get privately and then they put them out on social media and respond to them. I think you should
yeah.
do that.
I know. I've seen a couple of those lately where this guy
Uh-huh.
just called
Mm-hmm.
me a blankety blank blank blank.
Uh-huh.
Do y'all know who
Yeah.
he is? And yeah, it's like people
Well,
should
what
know
you do
better.
so well, I think, Marcia, is through your Substack, you role model the act of just thinking through tough issues and being willing to put it out in the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's you're role modeling a process of thinking through hard things.
Well, thank you. I
Mhm.
I hope that it comes across that way because that really is what I'm doing. I really am just thinking through a topic will come up, something I'm reading or something, and it'll get my brain thinking about that particular topic. And I usually just start researching that topic because I'm interested in sorting it out in my
Yeah.
own brain.
Yeah.
And so I'll put it out there. Some people may think that I have sorted it out wrong, and they will tell me that. But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what really kills me is like when I would try to respond to them, sometimes they'll just block me. It's like they want to like give me a piece of their mind, but then they don't want to hear
Nothing.
nothing. I go try to respond and I've been blocked. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, thank you. But that's okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, thanks for this chat today. I think I
Yeah.
hope this has helped some people. Like I say, like a lot. I've noticed that when I'm editing, I need to stop
That's all
saying
right. I
like.
say I think.
I think
Or
I do that
I think
too.
it's more like
Yeah, we're
yeah.
thinking. I just hope everyone, if you're holding back on putting something out in the world, whatever that is, just just do it and don't
Mhm.
worry about what happens. I mean, everything we do in the beginning is gonna be flawed. I look back on some of my writing and I go,
I
"Oh, that
know.
was terrible." But you grow and
Mhm.
just look at it as part of your journey.
It
Like like
is.
like Stacey just said. I love that. I love
It
that.
really is.
Well, thanks for the chat. It's good to see you. I'm
Yeah, good
glad
to
you
see
had
you
fun at
too.
the Tori Amos concert.
Yeah, I thought of you watching those background singers doing their thing.
Yep. I'm kind of
Their
retired from the
flowy
whole thing.
dresses and just jiving.
It's a great job. I won't lie. I for years it was like, God, I've got the dream job. It's like no pressure. You're not the leader up there on having to carry the show. You're just back there dancing and singing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sweet gig, but you know, maybe I'll do it a little bit, but I think I'm pretty much done with sleeping in a bunk. All right. Well, have a great weekend, friend. Love you.
Love you too. Y'all be safe and kind out there, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Hopefully, about the Enneagram. I shouldn't
Yes,
promise. It's coming at some
it
point.
is coming. And if
Okay.
anyone, we did get our candidate that if
Hmm.
there's anyone that wants to take the IEQ 9 for free and have a debrief and have a conversation about it, just reach out. We'll make it
Sound,
happen.
sounds great. Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next time on the Fresh Start podcast. This episode has been brought to you by God and My Girlfriends Ministries. If you're looking for a faith-based community where everyone is accepted, all beliefs are welcome, and no judgment, check out godandmygirlfriendsministries.org, where you can find more information about our book clubs, both online and in person, upcoming retreats, and all the events in your area. You can also find out about one of our favorite things that we do, our Single Moms Christmas Blessing Ministry. So go check out godandmygirlfriendsministries.org. We would love to have you a part of our community.